Once, there was a monk who lived in a monastery with other monks. One day, he decided to meditate alone, away from his monastery, in a quiet and secluded place. After looking around for a while and failing to find a quiet enough spot, he decided to get in a boat and go out onto a nearby lake to meditate. When he reached the lake, there was no one else. He rowed his boat out to the middle of the lake and moored it there. No one else was around, so he was sure he would finally be able to have some peace and quiet to meditate. He sat with his eyes closed and began his meditation. After a few hours of undisturbed silence, he suddenly felt a bump, like that of another boat colliding with his boat. The monk got disturbed, but still he kept his eyes closed. Again, he felt the bump. With his eyes closed, he sensed his anger rising, but still he kept his eyes closed and stayed silent. After a while, again he felt a bump, and this time he opened his eyes, furious, and said, "Who disturbed me while I am meditating?" He was livid that someone would crash into him like that. He was ready to really let this person have it. To his surprise, he saw that it was an empty boat that had probably got untethered and floated to the middle of the lake. As soon as the monk saw this, at that moment, he came to a self-realization and understood that the anger was actually within him, and it merely needed a little external bump to provoke it out of him. From then on, whenever the monk would come across anything or anyone who irritated him or tried to provoke him to anger, he would remind himself, the other person is merely an empty boat. The anger is within me. Something may happen today that upsets you. Someone might be rude, your car might break down, a child might mess something up despite your very careful instructions. Your instinct may be to yell and get angry. It's natural. But just because it's natural doesn't mean it's a good idea. Whilst you may find a temporary release after giving way to your anger, carrying resentment inside you is self-destructive more than anything else. You'll only harm yourself in the process. Yelling might make you feel better for a second, but does it actually solve the problem? Of course not. Arguing with a rude person only offers them more opportunity to be rude. Getting worked up over car troubles doesn't fix the car. It just raises your blood pressure. Your feelings are choices. You choose anger over calm. You choose fear over courage. You choose misery over joy. Which choice is more productive? Which punishes the chooser and which punishes the circumstance? Remember, circumstances do not change as a result of how angry you get at them, because circumstances are not people. Without the ability to recognize and direct your emotions, you become a slave to them. You shouldn't give circumstances the power to rouse anger, for they don't care at all. Marcus Aurelius.